6 years of smoking. What did you get from it?
Depression, anxiety, sadness, fear, every bad thing that could happen. I got that from weed.
Guys, I welcome you live on SBTV Africa. My name is DJ Nyame, and Daily Hustle Worldwide. I talk to people across the world, so you can also join me on my show. My numbers are on the screens, +233-244-790-902 and +233-244-240-677-898. Wherever you are, you can just join me. So far as you have internet, if you have internet, you can join me. Make sure your internet the connection is strong, then we can have a chat. So today my flight number, I have a special flight. It's called Concorde plane. Yes, I'm moving straight from Ghana to UK online to have a chat with this beautiful lady you are seeing on the screens. Yeah, get to know her and all that. So if you just join me, make sure you tap on subscribe, share the link, invite your friends to join us. Let me go straight to have a chat with Phoebe. Hi, Phoebe. I welcome you live on SBTV Africa. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Beautiful sister. What's up?
Nothing much. I think I'm here to talk about my life and my life story and hopefully inspire and motivate others as well.
Yes, sure. That's why I brought you here to share with us. But what's your name? What's your full name?
My full name in my birth certificate is Phoebe Adu, but my name is Phoebe Anna Ya in Team Dankwa Adu.
Oh, so you're from Ghana?
I am, yes.
Oh, I see. What you saying?
I wasn't taught tree. My mom just spoke English.
Who has been speaking the tree with you? Is it your dad?
They both speak English, so we went to me and my sibling. People speak English, yeah.
Oh, okay, nice one. Which part of UK are you?
I'm in London.
Oh, which part of London?
Newham.
Newham.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been to London before. I've been to so many places. Maybe next time I'll visit your place.
Oh yeah, you should visit. It's cold. It's cold, but you should visit.
I know. When I was there 2 years ago, it was cold too as well. But I keep moving up and down and all that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let me ask you, which part of Ghana are you from? Before I'll come back to UK.
My parents or my mom is from Abuaso, and I'm not quite sure where my dad is because when he was growing up, he went everywhere. He was placed in different places, but my mom grew up in Abuaso, and then she got married to my dad, and then they both moved to the UK.
Oh, okay. So you were born in UK, right?
I was, yeah.
Okay. Have you been to Ghana before?
The last time I went to Ghana was more than 10 years ago.
How? I mean, how?
Nobody's invited me to come, so I'm stuck here in the UK.
Okay,
if you invite me, I'll come.
This time I'm inviting you to come because a lot of people have been coming to Ghana from the diaspora this Christmas and all that. They have been coming and having fun and all that. How come you are from here and you are not coming? I mean, but you still have family. You still have families in Ghana.
Yeah, I do, yes. But I haven't been there in a long time. God willing, I'll come there this year. If not this year, then next year.
Not next year. This year you are coming. Okay. We are inviting you.
For sure, this year.
Or your mom is preventing you not to come?
Oh, no. She went 2 years ago and she told me to come. And I was supposed to go, but I didn't go.
Okay, then this year we are inviting you. You come to Ghana.
Okay, I'll come there.
10 years been a long time. Anyway, yes, let's come back to UK. So tell us more. I mean, how many siblings you have growing up, life in UK, school level, education level, and all that. Let's hear that.
So I have 4 siblings. We're all girls. I'm the third born. We all went to the same school. I went to Royal Docks Community School, and then I went to college. And then I went to university, and in secondary school, in college, and in university, I studied media. I loved media for a long time. But then in 2019, I stopped. I don't know what it was. The love for media, it vanished somehow. So now I run a charity where in the UK we have things called boroughs, and each borough has their own council. So what I do is I go to different councils because we have things called food banks, and a food bank is an organization where we give food to people that don't have access to food. So what we do is we deliver the food to people's houses, because there are people like disabled people that they can't access the food banks. So what I do is I deliver the food parcels to people as well. So that's like a of
But
my
you said
life.
you went into media. What inspired you? I mean, who
I've
convinced
loved,
you to go
when I
into
was
it?
younger, I just loved media. I loved
Mm.
filming. I loved I loved anything to do with films. I loved it. And then let me be perfectly honest. I got into a relationship, and in that relationship we had a media business together. And then when we broke up, I think when we broke up, I distanced myself, and then the love for media, it kind of vanished when the relationship broke up as well. So I think that's where,
Oh,
yeah, I think that's where happened.
oh, okay, okay. So I saw your video. You were talking about your parents, your dad, the pastor, and all that. So, I mean, tell us why. You said a lot of things in your video. How you started, you went into addiction and all that. How did all these things start?
It was just the wrong crowd. It was just the wrong crowd. And to be honest and fair, it's a situation where when you don't know who you are and you don't know who you belong to, you dive into things that isn't for you. And for me personally, because I was in the wrong crowd, I didn't know my own identity. And because I didn't know my own identity, whatever somebody else was doing, I was doing the same thing. And it started in 2017. And then when I got into the relationship, we were both smoking together. And then I came out of the relationship, and that's a whole completely different story.
Mm, So it's true friends, that
Yeah, yeah.
you started
Through,
smoking.
I would say through the relationship. Through the
Oh, your
relationship.
relationship.
Yeah.
Okay, your ex-boyfriend
My
introduced you
ex.
into. So what were you doing? What were you taking?
It was weed. It was weed. I wouldn't say he introduced me to weed, because I smoked some before, but I wasn't addicted to it. But then when we got into a relationship, that's when I started to smoke more.
Oh, okay. So for how long were you into it? Because now
Six
you say you
years.
stopped, right? You
Yeah,
stopped,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Okay, so you smoked for 6 years.
yeah.
Tell us about it. Taking weed, and some people say, "Oh, taking weed is normal and all that," but you were into it for 6 years.
Yeah.
Taking weed, when you take it, what does it do for you? What do you get from it?
From me personally, the things that I was going through, especially inside the relationship, I was taking it to kind of get away from reality, because what weed does is it kind of it alters your brain chemistry, so you feel different. You don't feel like you're on Earth, or you don't feel like you don't feel it does you don't feel like you're on Earth basically. And when you take it, you're in a completely different dimension. You forget the things around you, you forget about your worries, you forget about your problems. And that's when I took it. But at the beginning, I wasn't taking it because I needed to get away from reality. At the beginning, I took it because it was fun. It was a fun thing to do. But then as life slowly progressed and my relationship became more serious and the problems of life became a bit harder, that's when I became more addicted to it. But obviously at the time, I didn't know I was addicted to it, but it was something that I couldn't stop taking.
So how often were you taking it? Is it like every day?
Every day.
It's something every day you take it and
Every
all
day.
that and
It was every
oh.
day. Every day. At the beginning, it was at least 2 to 3 zoots. So one weed thing is called a zoot, in the UK anyway. I would take at least 2 to 3 every day. But when I became addicted to it, that's when it was like 6, 7 every day, Monday to Sunday for 6 years. So you can imagine, if you're taking 6 to 7 zoots every single day, Monday to Sunday, you become addicted to it. And because it changes your brain chemistry, you then become somebody that you're not yourself.
Were you staying with your family by then?
No, I was basically at his house. I was at his house, I would say 98% of the time.
Wow. But
Yeah.
the guy is not married to you, so you can just
No.
leave your house and be staying with him. Your family will
Right.
not ask anything and all that.
Okay, so what happened was is like I said, we had a business together, and because we had a business together, I would say to my mom, "Oh, we're going to go." I would lie to my mom and say that, "Oh, we're going to go to this country to film this, or we're going to go to this country to film that." But I wasn't going to another country. I was at his house. So to my mom, I'm doing business, but to me, I'm with him in his house smoking weed.
Oh,
So that's how I was able to do it, because my mom knew that we had a business, and we did in fact have a business, but then it wasn't a business where we were so international, where we had to go to different areas in the country or in the world. We were local, but then I would use that as an excuse to go and stay at his house.
so your mom never knew you guys were dating, like you
Oh
were
no,
into
she knew we
business.
were dating. She knew we were dating.
Oh, oh, okay, but you are dating with him and you are doing business at the same time.
Right, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. But talking about, let's come back to the fire
Yeah.
thing.
Right.
Your family never noticed. Nobody saw you smoking or anything of that
Mm-mm.
sort.
You see, the thing is with me, as a female, I think you grow up to kind of mask your emotions. If or some females anyway, some females are very emotional, but as for me, I'm not like that. So for me, when it came to my house, I could easily mask what it was that I was going through, because one of the reasons why I even started taking weed is because I was starting to feel depressed. Even at that, my parents didn't or even know that I was depressed. I'm someone that I can easily hide what it is that I'm going through. I can go through something and nobody would ever know. It's something that I've mastered growing up. So when I was smoking, if I was high, they didn't know.
Talking about this depression, I know a lot of people go through this. Is
Mm-hmm.
it why couldn't you open up to your parents, maybe your mom? Were you not close? How was the relationship like? I mean, that you couldn't open up to her or whatever you were passing through, all that.
My mom, I mean, being an African woman, my mom being an African woman, she doesn't understand things like depression. In her eyes, there's no such thing as depression.
Hmm.
If I say to her, I'm depressed, why are you depressed? How can you be depressed? Da, 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 da. So it's not someone that I can easily have a conversation with. And that's just what it was. And the things I knew that I couldn't go with my parents. One, my dad being a pastor, my mom being, a very strict African woman. I knew that going to them wasn't an option, so I never went to them.
Is it that because you said they are straight, they were not like open, you guys were not like open discussion and all that? Is
Mm-mm.
that the reason why you couldn't tell her?
Yeah, because I know what she's like. So even growing up, we're not a family that we talk about things. Like growing up, there was never discussion about boys, or there was never a discussion about life. It was just because we're a Christian family, we need to learn about God, and that was it. I don't remember having any type of conversation, and that obviously led to us growing up not being able to open up to our parents and have a conversation or discussion about whatever it is that we were going through.
Wow, you being a pastor's daughter and you smoking and all that. What are, I know it's your friends, people will see and all that. They never informed your daddy, or they never told any of your family member about what you've been doing and all that.
No, because I was very smart. I'd never done it outside. I was always, because like I was saying, I was basically living with my son's dad, because we have a child together.
Oh,
Um
okay.
yeah. I was there with him 98% of the time. So it was always inside the house. It wasn't a thing that somebody would see me.
Okay, so you don't smoke in town, but you only do it in
No.
the house.
No.
Oh, okay. What
No,
about
no,
if you
no.
go to town, you go to clubs and all that?
I'm not a clubbing person. I'm not somebody that clubs. I'm not somebody that drinks. It was just weed at the time.
Oh, 6 years of smoking. What did you get from it?
Depression, anxiety, sadness, fear, every bad thing that could happen. I got that from weed, and I thought weed would help me escape my reality, but in actual fact, it just made things a lot worse. It made things a lot worse.
Is it because your relationship didn't go well?
Hi there, my name is Calibos, the only boss with one S. Happy new month to all of you. Welcome to a month of new possibilities. Do you know why life has been made so easy? It's because of TapTapSend. People, TapTapSend is here to make your life easy if you want to transfer money to Ghana, if you want to transfer from USA, if you want to transfer from UK, Europe, Canada, a lot of places all to Ghana. And guess what? When it comes to Ghana, there's no e-levy charge. So, what are you waiting for? Download TapTapSend on Google Play Store and App Store and be ready for exciting offers coming your way each time, every time on TapTapSend.
TapTapSend. Send more, spend less.
It was part of the situation. I would say 80% of the situation, yeah.
Because your partner used to smoke with him, maybe you guys broke up, right?
That wasn't the reason. So the reason why I would smoke so much is because when we were together, we encountered a lot of problems together. And those problems, instead of walking away from the relationship, I thought that I could fix it. But then I already knew that I couldn't fix the situation. So me continuing to stay in that relationship is what brought me stress. And the more stressed I was, the more that I smoked.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, so tell us about it. How you stop, how you transform and all that, because I know some few people, they are into it. They said quitting is very difficult and all that.
It is.
How did you get out from the marijuana thing that you will be taking?
Quitting weed is very, very, very hard. It's something that once you become addicted to it, your system needs it to be able to function properly. Now there was one day in 2019, I went out to go and smoke. But then when I was smoking, something felt very different. I don't know what it was, but my body was just, it didn't take well to the weed, I should say. Well, that's what I thought at the time. And I thought, okay, because I'm outside, this one I was outside. This one I went to go and hide in one bush somewhere. And because I was outside, I thought, okay, let me get home, because at home I'm safe. Because outside, I don't know what's going to happen, because I've never felt like this before. So I've come home now. And as I'm at home, I'm starting to hallucinate. I'm starting to see things as if I'm dreaming. And I've never had that before. My eyes were open, but it was like I was dreaming. And I started to hear things. And this has never happened to me before. So I was very confused. I didn't know what to do. So I've gone to my bedroom now. And a voice said to me, turn around. I've turned around and I was looking at my bed. And then what I could see was people carrying me and taking me away. And the voice said to me, if you continue doing this, you're going to end up in a mental home. And I've never heard any type of voice like this before. So I was so confused. So I was thinking, what's going on? What's happening? And then after that situation had happened, instead of me feeling scared, I felt comforted. I felt safe. Even though I didn't know what was going on, I felt a sense of relief. I felt a sense of safety. And I don't remember exactly what happened. The whole day was a bit of a blur. I remember bits and pieces. But then one thing that I do remember specifically is the voice saying to me that in order for me to take you from where you are to where you need to be, you need to break out of this relationship that you're in. From then, I knew it was God. From then, I knew the only person that could be talking to me is God. And at that point, I was scared because one, we had been in a relationship for 6 years. And at that time, our son was, he was 1. That situation happened 1 week after our son turned 1. And at the time, I was so confused and I was so scared because he's the only person that I knew. I don't know anybody else. I loved him so much. We were together for 6 years. I built my entire life around him. So when the voice said to me, you need to break up with him, I thought, okay, that's fine, but what's going to happen? And then God said to me, you need to understand that nobody is ever going to love you the way that I love you. And when he said that to me, that's when I felt, okay, I trust you. And then God said to me, I need this to happen, but do you agree? And then I said to God, but you are God. Why are you asking me if I agree? And then he was saying to me, because you have free will. If you want me to do it, then fine. If not, then okay. But in order for you to get to where you need to get to, I need to do this. So when he said that, I said, okay, yes, I agree. And then he said, do you love me? I said, yes, I love you. He said, okay. And then I don't remember what exactly happened after that. But the next thing I remember is I had to speak to my mum. I had to confess everything. I told my mum that I was lying. I told my mum that for the entire time he wasn't going on holiday, he wasn't going to business, I was actually at his house. I never told her about the smoking bit because I knew what she was going to behave like. But I said to her that this entire time I've been at his house for 6 years, I've been lying. And she was very upset, very, very, very upset. And then 24 hours later, me and my son's dad, we broke up. And from that day on, I haven't touched weed. I haven't liked weed. I haven't smelt weed. My life has just changed completely after that encounter in 2019.
Smoking weed, I know it's expensive out there. Do you see yourself back then that you financially you spent a lot of money on weed?
Oh yes. Oh yes. So we have different prices. We have £10, we have £20, and we have 50, and then you have the ones where you have it in a big bag. I would always buy the £10 over £20. And because it
every day,
not every day, I would say at least twice or 3 times a week. Because even though it's £10 or £20, I would say that the amount that you get is this much. And if I'm smoking 67 every single day, it will finish quickly. So I'm at least spending £10 or £20 3 times a week, every single week consecutively for 6 years.
So every let's say in the week you spend, is it 60 or 20?
Roundabout, yeah, depending.
3
Yeah.
times. You said 20, 23, 3, so it's 60.
Roundabout,
So
yeah.
£60 a week times 6
Every
years.
week, right.
That is a lot of money, eh?
It is, I know. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
So
Sometimes
you told your mom you were doing business, but where was the money coming from? Were you bringing money? Was she seeing anything? And I mean, you are doing business, so
yeah.
where is the capital? Where is the money?
The money was going
She
to
didn't ask. I know African mother, she will ask. Now, way. So yeah,
No.
you must scan is their business. Where is the money?
I will still get money and I'll still give her some. That's the thing. And once you give your parents money, it's like, okay, fine, it's okay. No problem. You've given me the money now, you know? But we wasn't making enough. Our income was, our expenses were more than our income. So it did cause a lot of problems. Like there were times where I would only have £10, but I would use that £10 to go and buy weed.
A lot of people are. I see people talking about weed and all that. They said God created it and all that. It's not a bad thing. It's not a sin and all that to smoke weed and all that. What do you have to say? They said it's a herb. God created it.
My experience is anything that you overuse, you begin to abuse it. And there are different strands of weed. There are different types of weed. There are the weed that you take where I think it's either THC or CBD or something like that. Those are the ones that they take out and they use for medicinal uses. For example, in this country, we have vitamins with weed inside it, but it's not the weed that you get high. The weed that you get high is a completely different strand from the weeds that you use for vitamins or for oil or whatever, because there's also CBD oil as well. But in terms of smoking, anything that you overuse is bad for your body anyway, regardless. Even water in itself, if you drink too much water, it's also dangerous. Anything you abuse is a problem. And I feel like people that use that as an excuse and say, oh, but God made it, you're in denial, because you yourself, you know that it's an addiction. You yourself know you know that you have a problem. And the thing is, if it's a situation where, oh, God made this, God made that, Why is it a case that you see that people can die from it? There's like, it's an excuse at the end of the day. If it's something that you heavily rely on, you need to sit back and look at your life and think, okay, what is it actually doing for me? It's not doing anything. The most it does is it takes your money, and that's it. It's nothing special. It's nothing to celebrate either. I'm very against it. Even now that I'm a single parent, when I look for, well, if there's somebody approaching me and they have interest in me, and they say, oh yeah, I smoke, but sometimes, immediately it's a no. Immediately is a no. I don't care if you smoke one time in a year or one time in a month. It's a no from me. This is not something that I would ever do again. And if I know somebody that does smoke, I will try to encourage them to stop.
What about alcohol? Because they are all drugs.
I don't drink anyway. I'm not a drinker. And even with drinking, if it's something that you want to sip, fine. But if it's something that you drink too much and you lose your mind and you're falling on the floor, then that's the problem. But then there are people that are able to handle their alcohol. If you can't handle it, stay away from it.
So, I mean, you don't want to go out with any guy who is into smoking and all those things. What about, that's why I asked alcohol, if maybe they say once in a while.
Yeah, if it's once in a while, fine. If you're somebody that you know how to handle your alcohol, fine. But if you're somebody that you're addicted to alcohol and you don't know how to handle your alcohol and you're outside and you're causing a nuisance and you're embarrassing yourself outside, then no.
When your family got to know about this weed thing, what did they say, especially your dad?
My dad, actually, so this is the second interview that I've done talking about my addiction. The first interview that I did, he watched it and I had no idea that he watched it. And he was in his room and he called me and he said, I'm very proud of you. And I said, why? And he said, because I didn't know that you was going through this. And the fact that you've come out and you've done this and you've given your life to God, I'm very proud of you. The fact that you're able to share your testimony with people, I'm very proud of you. And the thing is, this is the relationship that I have with my dad. I'm able to talk to my dad about anything. Like when I was pregnant, or when I found out that I was pregnant, he was the first person that I told. We have that relationship. So I wasn't surprised that that was his reaction when he had watched the video. Now, my mum, on the other hand, I don't think she knows yet. I don't think she has an idea that I used to smoke weed. But the thing is, she will know eventually. It's either I tell her or she will find out, because what I do now is I try to educate people and I try to inspire and to motivate people, tell people my testimony, and, you know, try and get them to a point where they feel open to talk about their addiction, or they feel open to talk about anything. And because it's a thing where it's on social media, my mom is on social media, so she will find out regardless.
I was just about to ask you that, since your dad know, that definitely your mom should know. Is it like they are no more together or something?
No, they're together. But my dad's more westernized than my mom is. So he understands the importance of privacy between kids and parents. So anything that we tell him in private, he will keep that to himself.
Oh, your dad is westernized and your mom is Africanized.
Basically.
Africanized, bad woman.
Yeah, so it's I'm waiting to see.
But from what you are saying, a lot of people are going through this, and I think a family, from raising our children and all that, those bonds or the unity, the communication is not there.
No.
So when you go out and somebody is trying to push you into something or introduce something to you, you can just come out to meet your family and say, hey, mom, maybe a friend or this. Because the communication, or maybe we are not open. No. I think this is a problem with our kids and all that. And this is going on. A lot of people are facing this. Do you think that is another problem? The reason why you are not, you couldn't open up to your parents?
My parents, yeah, I would say my mom mostly, because I can open up to my dad. I can't really open up to my mom too much because she's very judgmental. She's very judgmental. So instead of getting advice, it's judgment. And in life, we all need advice from people. But then if I try to come to you and you're judging me, you're bashing me, I can no longer come to you because I don't feel like there's a safe place. There's no way for me to communicate with you. So we would always look for that place to feel safety. And unfortunately, especially in this country, we have gangs. And when our kids don't feel safe at home, they go and involve themselves in gang, because in gangs they feel safety, in gangs they feel respected, in gangs they feel like they have that community where people will listen to them. Which is why, especially now, even though my son is only 4, he has his own emotions, and I try as a parent to understand where it is that he's coming from, because I know what happened to me, and I know because I wasn't able to open up to my parents, that pushed me up into a situation where I felt like I would be respected, I felt like I would be listened to, but it wasn't the situation for me. And I feel like if I do that to my son, it will now push him into a situation where he would do the same thing. And for him it's more dangerous because he's a boy, and he's a black boy. And in the UK, being a black boy, the police target you every single day. And also, knife crime is very high in the UK as well, especially in black boys. So I've made it my mission to make sure that I need to be open with him and be able to communicate, because I never had that growing up. And even now, I do try to talk to my mom to let her know that the way certain things were growing up has made it hard for us to come to her and have a conversation with her. And she's changing. We're getting there, but it's slow steps. But I now need to do better and not repeat the same mistakes that our parents made.
Wow, fantastic. It's a lesson, eh? Anyway, let's talk about life in London. I know London is expensive. That's the capital. Life in London, hustling in London. How is it going?
I don't know if you've heard, but in London right now, we're going through inflation. In the country, they've upped the prices of everything. And I don't think that's just London. I think that's everywhere in the world.
It's not only UK.
Yeah, it's everywhere. And that's just what it is. It's hard. But that's why I run my charity. That's why I do what I do, because I realize that people are struggling. We even have nurses in this country that they can't afford food to eat. Can you imagine? As a nurse, you think, oh, you make a lot of money. But in actual fact, we don't. Even currently, we have nurses that are going on strikes. We have teachers that are going on strikes. We have ambulance people going on strikes as well because of what is going on in the country. So I've made it my plan to make sure that I help wherever it is that I can. And I can't help in every area, but in terms of food, I've made that my mission to help whoever it is that I need to help, especially in this current climate that we're going through. And to be honest and fair with you, even though it's hard for people, I would say that for me, my supply doesn't come from the government. My supply doesn't come from my road. My supply comes from God. So whoever it is that is struggling, you can say that you're struggling. But when people say that there's a going down, I'm always going to say that there's a coming up. My supply comes from God, and he's never empty. He's never going to get to a point where he doesn't have enough. He always has enough. So as long as I know who my God is, I know I will always have enough. So as for me, because I have enough, I will give out what it is that I have to others to help them.
Solid. Are you planning to do something in Ghana, any business, since you've been here for the last 10 years? This time you are coming back. Are you looking for a relationship too? Maybe some of the Ghana boys go there.
So which question do you want me to answer first? The relationship or the business? God willing, I would like to start a business in Ghana. One, because I want my parents to go and live in Ghana. To when they pass away, in the future, I want them to stay there, because in this country they don't deal with old people very well. So I want them to go to Ghana, and be looked after properly. And in terms of a relationship, I'm very open to relationship. Very, very, very open to relationship. A Ghanaian man, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm going to be honest. Ghanaian men don't approach me. I don't know.
Ghanaian men don't approach you, eh?
No. They don't approach me. I don't know.
Honestly, you don't look like a Ghanaian or what? Is it like you don't look like a Ghanaian? You look like a Jamaican.
I think it's because I don't look like I'm from Ghana. That's why they don't approach me. But then if a Ghanaian man approaches me, then, I'll talk to him. You can, I can figure out his life and his morals and who he is as a person, his family, his background. And then, we'll see where it takes us. But I'm very open to a relationship.
They don't approach you because you are always in UK. And the biggest that they are there,
So
my own people now, when they see you, Your place, I learned your place. They can't even call you and say, "Oh, excuse me, beautiful lady. Oh, can I have your number? You look beautiful." Oh, you call police. You call police for the person. So that's why they don't call you people. It's not like Ghana. Ghana, our street is hot. Boys
Really?
make what?
Wow.
They will call you and they develop.
Wow. Okay,
they will call you and go best. It's not like you can, when they approach you, the ladies, you have the power. I mean, when they approach you, say no, hey, what do you call it? Abuse, hey, you call police.
No, not me.
We don't want the men don't want problems, so they will not
right?
call.
It's true.
That's why they don't call you people.
But you know what?
You go to dating sites and go and be chatting there. Long process.
No, but you know what? I'm very happy that my mom was a strict African woman, because even though I'm 50% westernized, I'm 50% an African woman. So in terms of what a woman needs to do, I know. In terms of what it is I need to look for in a man, I already know. So all this thing where, especially in the UK, oh, I'm the head of the house as a woman, I don't agree with that. And because I live in the UK, a lot of females don't agree that I agree with that. And I love the fact that that is how I was raised, because I understand the importance of having a man that's the head of the house, which is why I'm single at the moment, because I already know that not every man is a head. Not every man can lead as well. So I'm staying back watching, you know, the people, my potential suitors, and seeing if they have the potential to lead. If you don't have a potential to lead, then obviously I can't go there. But in order for a woman to be submissive, she needs to be submissive to a man that can lead. And this is something that my mom has taught me. So yes, I am westernized, but at the same time, I do respect and I love my culture as well.
Oh, okay. So what's your biggest mistake or regret?
My biggest regret was not waiting for the man that God destined me to be with. It's a hard regret. And I feel like regret is such a big word, because we have a son together, and our son, he's the most beautiful, handsome little boy, so smart, so clever, so charming. So I would say regret is a big word, but I will say it's something that if I had an opportunity to rewrite my wrongs and go back, I would make sure that I would wait. But then I would have to say, God, if I wait for the right person, make sure that the same kid comes back. So it's a weird situation for me.
What are you telling the young ones, those who are into all this lifestyle and all smoking, drinking, and all this lifestyle? What are you telling them before I leave you?
Well, the first one is give your life to Christ. It's only God that can save you from this whole situation. 2, watch who your friends are. Watch what you do. Be careful of the things and the places that you go to, and give yourself a strong mindset. Because if you don't have a strong mindset, you can be easily influenced to do anything. And just make sure that you know who you are as a person, and you knowing who you are as a person means you know who God is. Because once you know who you are and whose you are, you know what you want to do. And that's it.
Nice one, Phoebe. Thank you so much for coming through. I'll bring you again next time. This time today, I brought you here. It was more on drugs. Next time, I'll bring you on different topic.
Okay, that's perfect.
But we are inviting you to come to Ghana.
Okay, no problem. So, when I come there, I want TZ. I want Awache. Yeah.
Everything is here. We have everything here. So don't worry. You come, all the food that you mentioned, we have them plenty.
Good.
So you can enjoy,
Good.
We'll take you to different Fan Yogo.
Yeah.
Aye. Fine nice. Everything is here now. Come and enjoy,
Don't worry, I'll come in. Save me a space.
Okay. So Phoebe, thank you so much for coming through the show. I'll bring you again soon, so we touch on 1 or 2 things, okay?
Please do, yes.
Do you have any shout-outs?
Shout out to God, my savior, my everything.
Okay, thank you so much, Phoebe, for passing through SBTV Africa Daily, also worldwide, straight from UK. Charlie, thank you guys for enjoying the show. I know you guys like it. I'll be doing more with my technical English. Go take mash you, you know. Subscribe to our channel for more. Thanks to my production team. My number is on the screen. If you want to come on the show, just WhatsApp me. +2332447900902 or +23324067789. The number is on the screens. Charlie, thank you guys. Subscribe for more. Tour. I'm out. Pay one.